Hello and welcome. It is so nice to be with you here today. Today's class is going to be at the wall. So all of our poses are going to revolve around using the wall as a prop. So if you haven't already, take your mat and align the short edge of the mat with a wall. Hopefully you have a wall where you have at least like a foot of space on each side, so you have a little bit of room to move off the outside of your mat. So find that place in your home and we'll meet up there. Once you have your mat aligned to the wall, I like to invite you to take a comfortable seat with your back resting against the wall. So you'll be sitting up nice and tall with your back against the wall. I'd like to invite you to take a cross-legged seat. However, if you prefer to have the legs extended for the sake of your knees, please feel free to do so. So find an easy seat with your back against the wall. And once you are there, gently draw the eyes closed and effortlessly rest the hands somewhere on the body, possibly simply resting on the knees or the thighs. We'll take the next couple of moments to allow ourselves to arrive here and now for our practice today. Gently press your back body and the back of the head towards the wall behind you. And nothing very strong or extreme, just a gentle, effortless press backward so you feel the support of the ground beneath your body and the wall beneath your back. And as we're here, gently begin to tune your awareness towards your breath. Start to feel the inhales and exhales arrive and exit from your body. And as our base of the body, so everything lower than the hips, gently presses towards the ground, find that strong back body as the back, the shoulder blades, the back of the head gently presses towards the wall. With a strong stance, relax everything else. So soften your face and the jaw. Relax the eyes, the ears, shoulders, relax down away from the neck. Soften your chest, the rib cage, and the belly. And soften the knees, the toes. Relax your hands and the arms with the elbows hanging by your sides. And soften the mind. Let it melt away. Take some big breaths and allow all your awareness to simply be on feeling every inhale and every exhale. Take a couple of moments here to allow your focus to come to feeling the breath, letting everything else drop towards the background of the mind. This time is for you to simply be in your body and with yourself. Allow yourself to truly arrive for your practice today. Take a couple more big breaths just as you are. And once you feel grounded in your breath, gently peel your eyes open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. Soften the gaze and continue to feel every inhale and exhale in the body. So though our eyes are open, we are still focused with a mind's eye inwards. Beautiful. Whenever your next inhale arrives, gently extend the legs out in front of you. So take a moment. If your legs are crossed, extend them out. Still keep the back body pressing against the wall though once you have the legs extended. Knees pressed down, toes pull back towards you. Inhale, sit up as tall as you can against the wall. And on your exhale, begin to pivot forward, lowering down towards a nice, easy forward fold. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, can you lower just a tad bit deeper? And it's okay if you can't. If you no longer feel the wall against your back body, just kind of shuffle the legs backwards slightly until you feel the connection of the wall with your low back, just for a little extra support there. Keep pulling the heart forward, lengthening the back body, and relax the shoulders down away from the ears, soften your jaw. Feel the breath come in and out of the body as you continue to press the knees down and pull the toes back towards you. Again, mind is on the body. Let yourself feel whatever's happening right now. One more big round of breath here. On your next inhale, gently come on back up towards seated. Exhale whenever you get to the top. Inhale, right foot comes in towards you, Janu Shirshasana, so outside edge of the foot in alignment with the inside edge of the thigh. And rather than going to full Janu, folding over the legs, we're going to go toward the right, so the space between the bent knee and the straightened leg. So inhale, sit up super tall. On your exhale, both hands on the inside of your legs, and then begin to walk on a diagonal to the front right corner of your mat. And just pause where you find a stretch that feels good. Inhale, can you pull the heart forward more? Exhale, maybe you lower the elbows down towards the mat. Keep the shoulders parallel with the ground beneath you. Gently breathe through the body as you press that left knee down and pull the toes back towards you. Should feel a nice side body stretch as you lengthen the heart forward. Again, breathe deeply. Stay with what you feel and let everything else go. 2 more big breaths on this side. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale whenever you get to the top, straighten your right leg out. Same thing other side, so inhale, left foot comes in towards you, outside edge of the foot in alignment with the inside edge of the thigh. Exhale, press the right knee down, toes pull back towards you. Inhale, sit up super tall. Exhale, hands come now in the space between the left knee and the right leg. Maybe you walk them out a bit. Again, find what feels okay in your body. On your next inhale, can you lengthen the heart forward more to the left front corner of your mat? And then maybe you exhale and set the elbows down if that suits your body and your practice right now. Breathe deeply. Again, shoulders parallel with the ground beneath you. Continue to lengthen and shine the heart toward the left front corner. Knee presses down on that right leg as those toes pull back towards you. Couple more big breaths. Breathe through what you feel. 2 more big breaths. You're doing great. 1 more. Great job. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, straighten your left leg out in front of you. All right, we're gonna kind of flip on over to turn to face the wall. So begin to rotate toward your left side. Left hand comes down, right hand comes down. Flip the body over to a tabletop. Get yourself back on your mat. So we're gonna come to tabletop position with the hands, I'd say about 1 to 2 inches away from the wall, fingertips facing the wall. And again, we're in tabletop, so the knees are directly under those hip points. All right, we're gonna move into puppy pose using the wall. So feel free to watch me and find where this works in your body or just listen to my voice. So on your next inhale, we're going to begin to walk the hands up the wall. So take a couple big steps with the hands, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling, and press your hands into the wall and begin to lower your heart, your chest towards the wall. So this might be enough of a stretch. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the chest and the shoulders. It's a slight back bend as well. So find where this works for you. If this is okay in your body, you're really going to allow the forearms to come to the wall and maybe the chin lifts up facing the ceiling of your room. So that'll be a more intense stretch. So find if this feels okay for you. Maybe the hands slide down the wall a bit. Just find where this works in your body. Shoulders pull down away from the ears and broaden along the back body. Relax the jaw as much as you can. Take a couple more big breaths in this puppy pose on the wall. If ever you need to climb the hands back up a bit and relieve and take the chest away from the wall, feel free to do so. Let's hold for about one more big breath. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the chest and shoulders away from the wall. Exhale, walk the hands back down all the way to the ground. Good job. On your next inhale, walk the knees close to the wall and then sit back on your heels. So your knees are probably about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. The way that we're going to determine how far we are and if we need to move closer or further is you're going to reach your arms out in front of you and the palms are going to face the wall. If you can't reach the wall, then scoot yourself a little bit forward so you can get the hands pressing into the wall with the knees bent and hips on the heels. So find where this works for you. We're going to do some cat-cows on the wall. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, pull the belly towards the wall, arc the spine, and then look up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, begin to round the spine. Keep pressing into the wall. Look towards your knees or your belly button. All right, let's do a couple more like that. Inhale, pull the belly, the chest towards the wall. Look up. Exhale, round. Press the wall away with the hands as the chest comes in towards the shoulders. Inhale, open up, and you can take these rounds following your own breath. On your exhale, rounding, opening the shoulder blades. Let's do about 2 more. Inhale to open, belly pulls in, heart opens up. Exhale, round, curving the spine. 1 more, move at your own pace. Big inhale and full exhale. On your next inhale, come back to neutral. Gently drop the hands to the thighs or the knees and just take a moment to close the eyes and feel into the body. Breathe through the spine and just notice how you feel after those couple postures. All right, we're gonna do our kind of flip on over to tabletop now with our heads facing the front of the room, the front of the mat. So right hand comes to the ground, left hand meets it, fingertips pointing the front of the room, and then kind of swivel those knees on around. So we're facing the front of the mat now in tabletop position. Good job. All right, so we're gonna come into downward facing dog, so toes curl under. On your next inhale, lift the knees up. Exhale, press on back. So we're gonna come to down dog with the heels against the wall. So if your heels are flat on the ground, you're gonna press the backs of the heels in towards the wall behind you. If you are on your toes, that's totally fine. Just rest the heels wherever they tend to land on the wall behind you. So find where this works in your body, and we'll pause here for a couple of breaths. If you still do want to add some sort of movement to your down dog because this is the first one we're taking, feel free to do so. So maybe you pedal out the heels, shift the weight forward, back, side to side, find where this works for you. Whenever you do land in your downward facing dog without movement, just allow those heels to kind of rest against the wall behind you. Take a couple big breaths, pressing through the hands, shifting the weight behind you, knees press backwards. Let's take one more big breath here. All right, inhale, come forward plank pose, so shoulders stack over the wrists. Pause here. Exhale, drop the knees, lower the chest and the chin down to the mat. Inhale, inch forward, low cobra, shine the heart up. Exhale, press on back, tabletop position, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Pause in down dog again for about 5 big breaths, breathing deeply. Again, heels press towards the wall behind you. Thighs, knees press towards the wall. Press the palms down, lifting the forearms up away from the ground. 2 more big breaths here, and we're going to do that same flow one more time. All right, on your next inhale, shift your weight forward, plank pose. On your exhale, you can keep the knees lifted or drop them down, your choice. Lower yourself down towards the mat. Inhale, low cobra, maybe up dog this time, straightening the arms and lifting the knees. Exhale, press it on back, downward facing dog. All right, couple big breaths in your downward facing dog. Breathe deeply. Relax the jaw, send the breath to below the belly button. 2 more big breaths. 1 more full round of breath here. Beautiful job. On your next inhale, step your right foot up about halfway between the wall and your hand. So halfway point, couple feet away from the wall. Essentially, you want the ankle to be directly under the hip. And you'll see once we pop up into this, may have to shift around, and that's okay. Exhale. Inhale. Now, can you lift your back foot up off the ground, the left foot, and then press it into the wall at hip height. So as you can see with me on the screen, my knee's a little bent, so I'm going to step my right foot forward slightly. So my right ankle is directly under my right hip, and then my left foot heel is parallel with my left hip. All right, so we're in some sort of version of warrior 3 legs. Press actively that left heel into the wall behind you. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Pause here for a couple breaths. See if you can play around and get light on the fingertips. So maybe they begin to hover. Maybe eventually you lift the core so the palms come up off the mat. Maybe prayer hands at the heart center. Continue to keep pressing that left heel in towards the wall and the right heel down towards the mat. 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath. Great job. On your exhale, add a slight bend to your right knee. Bring the left knee back down. Left foot sits down on the ground. Step the right foot back behind you. Lower the knees. Let's make our way to child's pose. So big toes touch. Knees spread wide. Sink the hips back to the heels. Rest for a couple moments. Breathe deeply. That's a really powerful version of Warrior 3 we just did at the wall. So take some big breaths. Notice how that felt for you. Breathe through the back body. 2 more big breaths. 1 more full round of breath. Great job. On your next inhale, come back up, tabletop position, hands and knees. Exhale, curl the toes under, press it on back, downward facing dog. Again, down dog with the heels against the wall, whichever that means for you. And then we're going to attempt the same posture on the other side now, all right? So when you're ready, inhale, step your left foot up about halfway between your hands and the wall. Again, it's okay if we have to shift around once we get up into it. Exhale. On your next inhale, right foot lifts up and presses towards the wall behind you. Now again, if you need to kind of inch that left foot forward so both the legs can remain straight, feel free to do so. Find the alignment to where the left heel is directly under the left hip and the right heel's in the same plane or height as the right hip. All right. Fingertips are out on the ground in front of you. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Maybe you pause here, take a couple deep breaths. Right outer hip slightly spins downwards as you continue to press that heel into the wall behind you. Left heel continues to press down towards the ground. Your choice if you want to try to find a quick lift up moment, lifting those fingertips up off the ground, maybe even bringing the hands to heart center as you're in Warrior 3 or airplane arms, hands by the sides. Whenever you're ready to come on out of this pose, hands can come back down to the mat. And when you want to totally come back down on an exhale, lower that right foot back down to the ground, step the left foot back, and find your way to a beautiful, restful child's pose. So hands and knees, big toes touch, sink those hips back to the heels, and pause to come back to your breath for a couple moments. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe deeply. Great job. It's a fun little strength pose to do at the wall. So take a couple moments, give yourself a little pat on the back for trying that out. Maybe even give yourself a gentle smile. Couple more big breaths. Breathe through the back body. Notice how you're feeling and where your mind is at. One more big breath in child's pose. And on your next inhale, gently walk the hands back towards you until you're sitting up all the way on the heels. We are going to move into a version of Camel Pose Ustrasana. So it's a back bend next with the wall. And we'll break this down again step by step so it feels good in everybody's body. On your next inhale, sit up, so lift the hips so they're directly over the knees, and then curl the toes under so that the heels are lifted up off the ground. Now, if you don't feel the wall behind your feet, kind of walk your knees on back until you feel the connection of the wall with the feet. Okay? So find where that works in your body. Step 1 of Camel Pose. You're simply going to stay here and place the hands on the low back, either with the fingertips curled around the hips or with the fingertips pressing down and the heels of the hands pressing into the low back, the sacrum. So let's try this out first all together. So inhale, lift the heart up. Pause here, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward, and exhale. Maybe you lean back slightly, looking up towards the ceiling or possibly the wall behind you. Our goal here is to keep the hips stacked over the knees, so keep squeezing the glutes, pressing them forward. Low belly pulls in. One more big breath. Inhale, gently come on up. Exhale, sit down on the heels. So if that felt deep enough for you, for the next round, you're going to stay exactly as you are. If you want to explore moving a little bit deeper, we're going to attempt reaching back to the wall with our hands, and I'll guide you through it. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, come on back up. Lift those hips up over the knees. Again, knees are hips distance. Squeeze the glutes, gently pressing the hips forward. Hands come onto the hips. On your next inhale, lift the heart up, hands come up, arms by the ears, and then maybe fingertips point down and you lean back slightly to press the palms towards the wall. Keep those hips over the knees. Maybe you begin to walk the hands slightly down the wall, deepening the back bend. Find where this works in your body. Take a couple big breaths. Relax the jaw. Keep pressing the hips forward. Low belly pulls in. One more big breath. All right, when you're ready to come on out of this, follow an inhale to walk the hands back up the wall. Slowly come forward. Exhale, sit back on those heels. We're going to do one more version of this posture. And again, you can either choose the first one that we did, Ustrasana with the hands on the body, or you can again walk the hands down the wall if that worked for you. So when you're ready, inhale, come on up, stack those hips over the knees, pause here, exhale, hands come to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart up. If you're going towards the wall, hands come up over the ears, over the head. And when you're ready, maybe those fingertips face down, palms to the wall. Pause there and really press the hands into the wall, so keeping the shoulders kind of pulling forward, hips over the knees. Maybe you walk the hands down the wall a bit. Take some big breaths wherever you are. The legs are strong and working. Low belly pulls in. Couple more big breaths, you got it. And again, whenever you're ready to come out of this posture, on a big inhale, gently pull yourself forward out of the posture. Exhale, sit on back to those heels. And this time you can kind of inch yourself away from the wall so the toes aren't curled under and the tops of the feet are flat on the ground. But let's just pause here. Hands on the thighs or the knees, gently close the eyes. And as you're here, low belly pulls in towards the spine, lengthening the low back. Breathe deeply. Notice how you're feeling right now. Breathe to the low back. And only when you feel ready to move, we'll make our way to a child's pose with the knees close together or touching. So slowly, only when your low back feels settled, maybe you begin to walk those hands out in front of you. And allow your body to drape down over the legs, resting forward in a nice, easy child's pose. Continue to breathe to the low back here. The back bends tend to lessen the space in the low back, so when we're done with back bends, we gently fold forward to open up the low back, finding balance in the body. Breathe deeply, a couple more rounds of breath here. One more big breath. Great job. On your next inhale, walk the hands back towards you so you're sitting up on the heels once again. Exhale, shift the hips over toward the right hand side, so off of your feet, and then lift the knees up so you're turned to face the left side. So the left wall in your room, your left hip's gonna be pressing against the wall. All right, so we're gonna kick the legs up the wall. The way we're gonna do that is on your next exhale, slowly lower down onto your back. And then as you're lowering down onto your back, kick the feet up the wall and slightly pivot and spin so your pelvis is facing the wall, the hips are parallel with the wall. So find your way through this transition. We'll meet with the feet extended up the wall. If it feels like too deep of a stretch to be as close to the wall as you are right now, then gently inch yourself away from the wall. That'll make the stretch less intense. If you feel like you want to move closer to the wall, if you feel like you have a lot more space in the legs, then by all means feel free to inch yourself forward, just kind of inching one hip closer at a time, and then eventually have those heels resting against the wall, legs extended up. This is Viparita Karani pose, legs up the wall. So as you're here, you can rest the hands on the belly, down by the sides, just whatever feels good for you. Gently draw the eyes closed if that feels good, and we're just gonna rest here for a couple moments. Take some deep breaths, breathe through the body. Viparita Karani is an amazing pose for getting new circulation within the body. As we have the feet, the toes extended up over the hips, we're reversing the blood flow in the legs, getting the blood back to the vital organs in the core. And whenever we do bring the legs back down, it's an opportunity for refreshed energy within the lower half of the body as well. So take some deep breaths here, breathe to the toes, relax the face and jaw. And if you do feel the toes get tingly or light over time, that is okay. Just breathe into it. If you're loving Viparita Karani and you want to stay where you are, then please feel free to do so. If you want to add a gentle hip stretch into this, we're going to take a wide-legged stance on the wall. So essentially we're just going to open up the legs. So on your next inhale, step your right heel out towards the right, left heel out to the left. And maybe you add a gentle flex of the feet, so pull the toes back towards the knees as you press the heels and the calves into the wall. So the legs are working here. And pause for a couple moments in this wide-legged straddle on the wall. Breathe through the hips. Breathe through the legs. Keep the jaw and shoulders relaxed. And another option, again, you can feel free to stay wherever you are if you are loving the pose you're in, but just an option for butterfly legs at the wall. So if you want to move to Baddha Konasana on the wall, you'll gently bend your right knee and then place the outside of your right foot against the wall in the midline. Same thing on the other side. So exhale, inhale, bend your left knee, outside of the left foot presses against the wall, and then your feet are gonna high five each other in the middle. So press against each other, and then maybe the heels begin to inch their way down the wall towards your pelvic area. And as they do so, you'll press the knees towards the wall now. So heels drop down, knees press towards the wall, outside edges of the feet press towards the wall as well. So nice gentle hip opener here as well if you want to explore that. Again, feel free to pause in any of the wall, legs up the wall poses that we just did. Breathe deeply wherever you are. Soften the jaw. Feel the breath ripple through the body. Let everything else go. Again, this time is for you to be with yourself. So if there's any thoughts that keep arising or things on that to-do list, you'll get to them in due time, but this time's for you. So let yourself truly be in your body with your breath and in your practice. Breathe deeply, feel the breath. Send your breath to where you feel the strongest sensation in your body. We are going to gently transition to Savasana next. If you want to take Savasana with the legs up the wall, feel free to do so. If you want to come out, you'll place the feet flat against the wall and then just kind of tilt on over, rolling over to one side. You'll press yourself on up and then make your way to a position laying down on your mat. If there's any other stretches or postures that you'd like to take throughout this transition, feel free to do so. We will eventually meet up resting on the back body for Savasana though. So take your time, find the transition that suits your body. Again, if you want to stay with the legs up the wall, by all means feel free to do so. And once you make your way towards Savasana, gently allow the limbs to extend out and draw your beautiful eyes closed. Begin to invite in a soft, easy, relaxed nature to your mind, to your body, to the space all around and within you. Begin to relax your body even further, starting by softening the crown of the head. Relax your forehead, the eyebrows and eyes. Soften your temples, the cheeks, the jaw, Gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth as you relax the teeth and the lips. Soften the back of your head, the scalp. Relax your ears. Soften your neck as you open the throat. Shoulders melt towards the ground beneath you as you relax the upper arms, the elbows. Soften the lower arms and the wrists. And relax your hands. Every finger gets a little bit lighter. Soften your chest, the rib cage, the belly. And melt the back body towards the ground beneath you. Let it go. Relax the hips, the glutes, the pelvic area. As you soften the upper legs and the knees. Relax the lower legs and the ankles. And relax your feet, softening every toe. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body. And gently let it all melt away. Allow this soft, easy, and relaxed state to translate to your mind, softening the mind as though it's a muscle itself, just letting it melt and fade away. Imagine a gentle, warm blanket being laid down across your body, letting you feel heavy and secure, yet a sense of weightlessness as well. Feel the warmth, the support from the ground beneath you, and the loving, hugging-like nature of this blanket. Let yourself relax and drift away into total tranquility and security. For the next couple of moments, let yourself simply be. Rest here and now as you drift off to this beautiful state. Gently begin to invite the awareness back in towards your body. Maybe you deepen the breath or add subtle wiggles to the toes, the fingers, your wrists and ankles. And only when you feel ready to move, gently roll over to either side and pause there to rest in a fetal position. Take your time. And again, only when you feel ready, gently begin to press yourself all the way up to seated. keeping the eyes softly closed as you move. We will meet in a comfortable seat with the eyes closed and palms touching at heart center. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Bring your awareness to your mind. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind right now? Gently draw your awareness to the body. Notice how it feels. What word describes your body in this moment? And finally, bring your awareness to your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel in this moment? Just notice, observe, and let it be. And gently give yourself a smile and truly thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time to your health, your life, and your practice, and possibly even trying something new today. Thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me here today. The light in me truly honors the light in you. Namaste.